Hi everyone, welcome to True Path Astrology. This is Rajni. Hope you're all well and safe. So today's topic is about Saturn, which will be retrograding on May 23rd until October 11, 2021. When bigger planets like Jupiter and Saturn retrograde or say they change houses, whether we like it or not, it impacts us in a big way. Its impact can really slow us down in our life. For some, it will give good results, and for some, it will not give that good results. And Saturn is a very slow moving planet. So when it impacts us, the impact is kind of dragging on for quite some time. At least that's how we feel. The impact is for so long that if it is bad kind of results, one can get easily tired going through tough times. Well, this does not mean that Saturn will only give bad results. Usually when people hear the word Saturn, they get scared and think that their life is going to be doomed. No, that is not like that all the time. Saturn can also give good results. Now, what does retrograde mean? Retrograde means going backwards, not literally, but it gives a notion as though it is moving backward. The planet that is retrograde is closest to the Earth. So to give you an example, if there are two cars going at a certain speed in parallel in the same direction, and suddenly one car is going faster than the other, then if you are in the faster moving car, when you look at the slow moving car, you will get an illusion that the slow moving car is going backward. So retrograde is something similar to that. So first I'll try to illustrate the common theme for all the 12 signs that you could experience in general for all the 12 signs during Saturn retrograde. Now, I think it's a good idea to know what kind of effect it will have on your life so that you can be prepared and be ready to face the results that Saturn retrograde is going to give you. And of course, it's important to remember that the Saturn in your birth chart, if it is retrograde, that is more impactful than the Saturn retrograding in transit. So check your chart and see where your Saturn is in your birth chart. And also if you're running the time period of Mahadasha of Saturn, then you're sure to feel the impact more. So at the same time, if you have Mahadasha of a benefic planet like Jupiter, then Jupiter will soften the impact that Saturn will bring. So you need to keep all this in mind. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to be sharing with you some remedies for those going, those who are going to have some most impact of Saturn retrograde. So watch this video until the end. Now, I have time-stamped this video for each of the 12 signs, so you can quickly jump on to listen to the results of your sign. You will find the timestamp at the bottom of the screen here. So before we move on, may I request you to please subscribe to my channel, like and share with your friends and families, of course, and also hit the bell icon so you will get notified of any new videos I post. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. That means a lot to me. So moving forward. Now, so let us see how Saturn retrograde will impact you in general for all the 12 signs. And at the end, I will highlight the main area Saturn retrograde will have the most impact for each of the 12 signs separately. So that is in a few minutes. Now, you see Saturn is a disciplinarian, planet of justice. So yes, Saturn does punish. But Saturn is also a planet that rewards us bountifully when we have learned our lessons. Now, Saturn retrograde gives us that opportunity for us to rectify our mistakes and get back on track. Now, this is a great opportunity for one to do some serious introspection, identify where things can be improved and fix it. Of course, apologize wherever possible if you think you have made any mistakes. Apologizing only shows your greatness. The common effects we see when Saturn goes retrograde is one can feel isolated, and although you have the necessary skills and talents within you, you may not have the capacity to bring forward your skills and talents at that time. One could feel a little bit confused as to what to do and how to do things, and they may also tend to maybe procrastinate. So somehow they could become like introverts in their way of communication. And if you want to express your love or admiration to the opposite sex, you may find it very difficult to express your feelings during Saturn retrograde. And Saturn retrograde can make you feel or make you do that. Now at work, make sure you're not crossing the line with your boss or have any conflict with authorities or any misunderstanding with the authorities. Avoid conflicts with your father at this time. And this is in general for all the 12 signs. Now also, if you have any subordinates that may report to you, be extremely careful while dealing with them. Don't be too harsh on them. Avoid putting undue pressure on them during the Saturn retrograde period. Otherwise, they may feel the pressure and may quit their job, most likely. So when I mean subordinates, I also mean servants, maids, or any help that you may have hired to work to assist you. Now, during Saturn retrograde, things from your past could show up again. Now, you will find the need to work hard and be disciplined at your workplace. And this will definitely not be the time for you to think or assume that luck is going to be favoring you. This is the time when you will need to improve on those things that you may not have done to your satisfaction in the past, or this is time to rectify your past mistakes. And Saturn will love you when you have learned the lessons and have rectified your past mistakes, and will reward you bountifully and beautifully at the end. So time to sharpen your tools, I would say. Now, definitely not a time to make changes in your profession at this time. Now, retrograde is great for spirituality. Now, those into yoga and meditation, they will feel the results during this time. They will get the results during this time. Now, you may want to consider balancing your home and work. Otherwise, things may appear a bit chaotic in your life if there is no balance between home and work. So some of you could find yourself in a situation where you're dealing with the same old past problems in your business partnership. The old problems will rear its head again. Now, retrograde means turning back and looking behind. So some of you may come across your old flame from the past, and they may come back into your life. And some of you also may be asked to tackle old projects and be asked to improve on the old projects that you may have tackled in the past already. Now, this is not a good time to start any new initiatives. Now, Saturn retrograde can make you a bit arrogant, or I can say rude. At least others will perceive you like being arrogant, even though you're not. So keep that in mind. I would say steer clear of any cheating, telling lies at this time, as Saturn is totally averse to all this. So now moving on to the specific areas of impact of Saturn retrograde on each of the 12 signs. Let's see what we have for Aries ascendants. So for Aries, you have Saturn retrograde in the 10th house of your chart. Now, 10th house indicates your career, your profession. So take extreme care not to have any conflict with your boss or any authorities at this time. You know, be prepared to work hard and accept the additional, I would say, assignments coming your way gracefully, and fulfill your obligations in a timely manner. You will be given some old projects for you to rework. So take that responsibility and I would say improvise on it. Now, your mother's health may need to be careful. Relationship-wise, especially relationship with your spouse, may not go that well, so avoid any conflict. So the next is Taurus. Now, you have Saturn retrograde in the 9th house of your chart. 9th house is a house of luck and fortune. It also denotes higher education, long distance travel, and also denotes your father. Now, Saturn will aspect the 11th house, 3rd house, and the 6th house. So watch out for your health during this period, and how much ever hard work you put in, the gain that will manifest will be a bit slow for you. Now, some of you may find that recognition that you were expecting may not come. Now, your overall gain during this period will be very slow, or I would say equal to nil at this time, but continue putting in that hard work, because once Saturn goes direct, you're going to reap the rewards of all your hard work. So don't get disheartened. Remember, it is only a temporary setback. So watch for any conflict that could happen with both your older and younger siblings at this time. Amend the relationship by apologizing to them if you think you have made any mistakes in the past. So don't take any big loans at this time if you can avoid. And if you have any subordinates, be gentle to them and be understanding. And if they have made any mistakes, don't be too harsh on them, or else they may quit their jobs due to not able to handle the pressure. Now, next is Gemini. Now, Saturn is retrograde in the 8th house of your chart. Now, 8th house is a house of transformation, pain, and anything that could happen suddenly. 8th house also denotes insurance money, or we can even say inheritance money, study of occult subjects like astrology or deep research. And now 8 also denotes your in-laws. 8 also denotes sudden accidents. So some of you may experience transformation during the Saturn retrograde period in some form or the other. Now watch out for any minor accidents at this time. Now, I would say try and maintain good relationship with your in-laws if you're married. And some of you may get sudden, unexpected money from either inheritance or some insurance payouts at this time. Now, those dealing with taxation, this will be a good period for you. And if you're interested in astrology, this is a great time to take up the subject and start studying it seriously. Excuse me. Because Saturn aspects the 10th house of your career. I would say be extremely careful at work and don't create conflict with your boss or authorities that you may report to. Now, I would say stick to your budget that you have planned. You will find it difficult to save money during this time. So watch out for problems arising with your family members at this time, and watch out for your speech. So if you're into any creative field like acting, singing, or any type of entertainment, you may find this period extremely slow and will look like you are not able to progress further. But continue putting that hard work with sincerity, as this is only temporary setbacks. Remember that. So also for some of you, you will find that your usual intelligence with which you were able to get the results before will not be supporting, your intelligence will not be supporting you that much during the retrograde period. So you will be chugging along very slowly and maybe frustrated with the slow progress. And some of you may have a fallout with your children if you are not careful. Now, for some of you, you will find that an old flame from your past will show up suddenly in your life at this time. And Saturn retrograde does that. So be careful if you're into also speculation, to do your due diligence, I would say, or consult with some experts if you want to still continue with speculation at this time. And if you're married, try and be on the same page as your spouses to avoid any conflict. So the bottom line is, look for opportunities where you can rectify your past mistake, fix it. And if you have learned the lesson, then Saturn will reward you for having learned that lesson multifold. Okay, so next is we have Cancer. Now, Saturn is retrograding in your 7th house of marriage, business, partnership, daily wages. Now, I would say avoid a conflict with your spouse at this time. You have some karmic debt that you need to repay your spouse. And this is the time that you can repay by serving your spouse and doing whatever it takes to maintain that harmonious relationship. And this is a karmic necessity pending from the past. So some of you could see yourself coming face to face with your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend at this time. This is again due to Saturn retrograde. And those in your own business and in partnership, in business partnership, you could find that some of the old problems or issues you had tackled in the past is rearing its head again. And you may be finding yourself in a situation you're dealing with those old problems with your business partners. And this is not a good time to start any new business or any kind of business ventures. Now, I would say watch out for both your mother's and father's health at this time, as Saturn aspects the 9th house, the ascendant, and the 4th house of your mother. So 9th is your father and 4th is your mother. Now, next is Leo. Saturn is retrograding in the 6th house of your chart for all Leos. Now, you need to watch out for any health issues that you may have had in the past. Those symptoms that you had in the past may show up again. So your enemies may be lingering nearby, ready to get back at you, but you will be successful in fending them off quite easily. You also need to be watchful of any minor accidents at this time. Now, try and be in the good books of your in-laws, your younger siblings, as well as your neighbors. Now, don't stir things and create any rift in all these relationships. So be watchful of any increase in your expenditure at this time. Some of you will find that your ability to take on a new initiative will be slow, and you may not be that courageous like you are usually in taking the initiatives. Now, next is Virgo. Now, Saturn for Virgo ascendants during the retrograde, it will be in the 5th house of your chart. Avoid any conflicts with your boss at work at this time, and also avoid conflicts with your parents. Now, this period is a great opportunity to sharpen your tools to bring improvement in the way you do things now compared to how you did in the past. So you need to bring some improvement in those areas. Now, be careful of any legal or court cases that could arise during this time, and take all measures to avoid any conflict, any type of conflict. Now, if you have any relationship problems with your children, this is a great time to mend it. Amend the relationship with your children. Now, if you're into any creative field, or you're an actor or singer, you will find this period extremely slow, and you could face some delays in the projects that you are doing currently. Or some of you may even find yourself in a position where you need to scrap the old project totally and redo the project again. So don't be disheartened that your efforts have all gone waste. Know that this is only a temporary setback. Now, continue your hard work, and Saturn will reward you for your efforts once Saturn goes direct after October 11th. Now, Saturn aspects 7th, 11th, and the 2nd house. Now, avoid conflicts with your spouse. Don't expect any serious gains at this time to come to you at this time. Now, also watch out for your finances during this period. Now, I would say stick to your budget. Work hard on saving the money you usually do. Don't compromise on that. Now, also don't take any major decisions or change anything when it comes to finance at this time. Watch out how you speak with your family members. And if you're not, then you may be hurting some of their family members. Now, this is a great time to do some serious introspection as to how you can improve your existing relationship with your family members. Now, some of you may find yourself going through some old dusty photographs from the attic and reminiscing on the old times and reviving the old memories. Moving forward, we have next is Libra. Now for Libra, Saturn is retrograding in your 4th house. Saturn retrograde will make you somewhat lazy at this time. Now for Libra ascendant, Saturn retrograde will give you results of the 3rd house as well. So 3rd house is house of courage, efforts, your siblings, and short distance travels. So some of you will have possibility of getting a promotion, and some of you may undertake short distance travels. Now Saturn will help you to expand your business at this time. Now, Saturn retrograde shows some past life karma. Since Saturn rules your 4th and 5th house, this is the best time to do some serious introspection with matter related to your mother or children. Now, areas you may have made mistakes concerning your mother and children. That's what I meant. Now, best time or best opportunity to rectify those mistakes and stabilize the relationships is during the Saturn retrograde time. There is no shame in apologizing. So apologizing only shows your greatness. Now, this is also a good time to improvise on some of the old projects that you may have shunned in the past, but not a good time to start any new initiatives. Now, some of you may come across your old flame face-to-face, or even may meet old friends that you may not have met for quite some time. Now, your past enemies could show up again, and some of you may have to deal with that conflict, but don't worry, you'll be able to tackle the toughest of enemies. So don't lose sleepless nights. So don't have sleepless nights, I meant. You need to take care of your health, avoid taking any huge loans, or don't sign up for credit cards that may show up in your mail. Of course, luck will be on your side, favoring you. Now, next is Scorpio. Saturn for you, all Scorpions, is retrograding in the 3rd house of your chart. If your relationship with your children is not to your satisfaction, this is a great time to fix it. And you have this opportunity to mend the relationship and make it strong with your children. Now, you'll be able to work hard to take initiatives at this time. Also, your relationship with your neighbors and younger siblings will go well. And if you're in any creative field or in entertainment or sports or acting, singing, this period will be a bit slow, and you may find yourself in a position where you may have to scrap the entire project and redo it from the start again, which may cause you some frustration, but know that this is only a temporary setback. And I would say continue working on the projects at hand. There is some karmic reason why you have to go through this type of situation. So don't get disheartened, avoid conflict with your father and also your mentor, I would say. Expect some delays or obstructions if you're pursuing any major or higher education. Also, your expenses may likely increase at this time beyond what you had budgeted. Now, watch out for how you invest this time, as it may not yield the result that you are expecting. Next is Sagittarius. Now, Saturn, which rewards you for your karma, will be retrograding in the 2nd house of your chart. Now, without karma, there are no results. We all know that. Now, 2nd house is the house of your finance, family values, your speech. Now, Saturn also rules the 3rd house of your efforts and younger siblings. Now, 3rd also denotes your communication and writing skills, and also media or anything online. Now, 2nd house shows how you have worked to attain your wealth. Now, Saturn in the 2nd house is considered neutral. And Saturn in the third is not good as well. So Saturn retrograde for you, how is it going to affect you? So let's see. Well, this is a time for you to reflect on what mistakes you've done so far. And this is a time to rectify those mistakes. Now, retrograde Saturn is giving you the opportunity to improve on those things that you did not do correctly at the first time. This is definitely not a good time to take on any new initiatives. You need to sharpen your existing tools and utilize those tools to streamline your work. Now, once you have fixed the past mistakes and learned that lesson, Saturn will reward you at the end for sure, more than the hard work you have put in. Remember, Saturn is not only a disciplinarian, but also Saturn is a planet of justice. Now, this is a great time to improve the relationships you have in your life and stabilize all the relationships, the existing relationships. Now, if you have not been managing your finances well, this is the time to bring some structure to your budgeting. Now, if you have deviated from eating healthy food, this is a good time to revisit your eating regimen and plan to include the nutrition in your diet. Now, I would say sharpen your existing tools to improve your writing skills if your work involves any kind of writing. Now, improve on the way you communicate with others. Apologize where you need to rectify your mistakes and take responsibilities for your family. Now, make sure you are the one to keep your home environment happy and, of course, make it a good livable place. Now, it is a great time to buy property if you have any plans. I would say be careful if you are driving a car at this time. Gains of all sorts that you're expecting may not come quickly as you expected, but will definitely come to you, although very slowly. Now, next is Capricorn. Now, Saturn, the planet of justice and disciplinarian, is retrograding in your own sign in the ascendant. Now, this is a great change for all Capricornians. Now, of course, Saturn, being the bigger and slow-moving planet, is going to give you both positive and negative results. Now, if you're running the time period or Mahadasha of Saturn at this time, you need to pay attention to this retrograde carefully. Now, Saturn is your ruler. You can expect some conflict with your boss or authorities that you may be reporting, or like if you are not careful. So if you have subordinates or any workers reporting to you, be very gentle to them, because if you put any pressure on them, there is a chance that they may likely quit their job. So I would say don't start any new projects at this time. Now try and utilize the opportunity to streamline the old projects or the old way of working to better it. Now, Saturn's retrograde is giving you an opportunity to rebuild the relationships you have in your hand and to stabilize the relationship. This is not a good time to make any new friends. I would say strengthen your relationship with the existing friends if you can. Now, Saturn also rules your second house of finance, family, values, and speech. Now, watch out for your eating habits. You may want to check the tone of your voice when dealing with your family members. Now, I would say do not take any major decisions concerning your finance at this time. Saturn will also make you run around unnecessarily without any great benefit to you. Now, Saturn aspects the seventh house of marriage and business partners. So try and avoid any kind of conflicts that could arise with your spouse or your business partners at this time. Now, Saturn will help you in your expansion of your business, but it is better not to start any new business ventures, as this may not be profitable down the road. So you may face some obstacles and delays. That's what I meant. Now, if Saturn is in your birth chart, if it is well placed, you may not feel the impact that much, but if it is not well placed, expect some rough times, but know that this is only a temporary setback. So you will bounce back once Saturn goes direct after October 11th. Aquarius. The planet of justice and disciplinarian is retrograding in the 12th house of your chart for all Aquarius ascendants, but Saturn also rules the ascendant. So for you, you may have to watch out for any unnecessary expenses. Now, if you have any international dealings, expect some delays in the operation. Now, you need to watch out for your health at this time. Avoid any travel if you can. Strictly adhere to the budget and your finance. And some of you may find it hard to save money in the bank at this time, but do whatever it takes and try to keep the routine of saving money, although you may find it difficult. Any payments that needs to come to you may have some delays. You may not get your money that you're expecting on time. And some of you may experience some rift with your family members at this time. Now, Saturn retrograde gives you that opportunity to do some serious introspection, to reflect on your past mistakes concerning your relationships. And this is a great time to rectify your mistakes. Now, Saturn likes it when you have learned the lesson and have fixed the problems, and Saturn will ensure that it will reward you multifold eventually. So don't take on any debts or loans if you can avoid it at this time. And I would say don't sign up for any credit cards that may be offered to you through mail. I would say utilize this time to strengthen your relationship with your father if you can. And also don't wait for the luck to come to you. Instead, you keep working hard. Saturn will make you work hard always, and only then he is going to give you the results. Now, next is Pisces. Saturn retrograde for you will be in the 11th house of your chart. Now, 11th house is a house of your gain, wishes, and fulfillment. It also denotes large organizations, your older siblings, and rewards and recognitions. So what does Saturn retrograde mean for Pisces ascendants? Well, retrograde does not mean it is bad always. For you, Saturn rules 11th house and the 12th house. Now, 11th house is the highest of all the karma houses. Karma means desires. We all know that too much of desire for anything may not be good for anyone. So check in your case, are you in control of your desire, or is desire controlling you? That's a question you may want to ask yourself. Now, 12th house is a house of moksha, meaning liberation, independence. It also denotes expenses, international travel. Now, 12th also denotes escapism, addiction of substance abuse, running away from responsibilities. So it depends on where your Saturn is placed in your birth chart. 12th also denotes bed pleasures, sleeplessness, nightmares, jail, hospitalization. So 12th is a bit of a heavy house here. Now, Saturn's transit in the 11th house is considered good. Now, since Saturn is retrograding in the 11th house, you will need to reassess how you are getting your gains, how you have received those gains in the past. Did you get those gains through proper method, ethically or unethically, in a wrongful way? So this is the time to retrospect and fix and correct anything that you may have done wrong in the past. Saturn is kind of giving you an opportunity to fix your past mistakes in those areas, so that once you have learned your lesson, now Saturn will be ready to bring on the gains to you with much abundance and of course with no restrictions. So Saturn is, I said, is a planet of justice. So before I conclude this video, I want to quickly talk about some simple remedies you can do if you're running, say, Saturn Mahadasha, or you want to have less impact of Saturn's retrograde. So Remedies is for all of you. Now, Saturn represents aged and elderly and also homeless people. The first simple thing you can do as a remedy is to be kind, compassionate to all the elderly people that you come across. If you have any elderly or aged members in your family, serve them, help them out, show some compassion to them, make them feel important and make them feel happy and comfortable. So do what you can to serve them. So this is one of the remedies. The next simple remedy is to light an incense stick on Saturdays and maybe sit down and do some meditation. Express your gratitude for all the things you have in life and be grateful. The third simple remedy is to avoid wearing any black clothes during the entire period of Saturn retrogradation. Well, if you can avoid it, that is. So hope you liked this video, and if you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.